everyone. Welcome back to Susan Dawn's Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy Update. Before we get into the divine partnership aspect of our reading, I do want to share some Ascension energies, especially with regards to the past week. So there's been a lot that is going on, and we can anticipate that going forward. Just shift after shift after shift. Lots of individual transformation that is going to have a ripple effect on the collective transformation. And I do want to say that one of the main messages that I've been getting calling back to 2020 is hold the light, be the light. That is our job, especially on this ascension journey, especially at this pivotal point in time. There seems to be an uptick in a lot of what we could call darkness. But the darkness serves to show us our light, how to be the light, that we are the light, where we need to share more light or spread more light. It is a catalyst for us. And so, especially when there seems to be so much aggression, when there seems to be so much in hidden layers, when there seems to be so much that is even yet to be revealed, our job is to hold the light. And you might have other missions and service work as part of that, but the more that you can maintain yourself, your higher vibrations, your higher frequencies, that has a major ripple effect not only on your own individual life and experience, but on the collective as a whole. And so if you feel called to, I have a playlist called Lightworker Messages that you can feel free to go back through on our channel. Right before the pandemic, we channeled that message of hold the light, the messages of unity. And I feel like we're coming back to that energy of unity. We really need to bring about that sense of community, that sense of unity, and holding that light for each other, especially as energies get a little bit heavy. Now, going through your ascension journey, you will experience more magic. You will experience more joy, more peace. It doesn't mean that we won't also experience struggle or pain or difficulty or challenges, but you'll be able to handle it better. You'll have more of a capacity to deal with it. You'll be able to hold more of the energy of peace. You'll be able to hold more space for yourself and for others. This week was a difficult week for me. I experienced the loss of a mentor, a friend in the publishing industry. She was somebody who helped me believe in myself, and she was a force to be reckoned with. She was a champion for writers. She was a champion of my work, even though she didn't represent me. She was a mentor for me. We exchanged a number of emails, and when I was going through one of my darkest times, she said, Susan, people will find your book, they will find your words, and you will be lighting candles in the dark. I've never forgotten that. I will never forget that. I will never forget her. Because I do truly believe that we are all lighting candles in the dark here. And that is what we are meant to be. We are meant to be those candles, holding that space and holding that love for others. I also experienced some health concerns, and what was interesting about this, it was very unexpected. I had to undergo a procedure, and what I realized in talking to soul sisters and other people in the community is that they were going through their own bodily issues, their own health issues that were unexpected and that was bringing up some stuff for them. And when I tuned into the energy of it, I understood that number one, it's making self-care a priority. Number two, it's to make sure that you're speaking up and advocating for yourself so that you're no longer being silenced. And number three, it's that we are recalibrating and our bodies are catching up. So there's an energetic component to all of this as well. So you might be in any of those three camps if you're experiencing any of that. For myself, it was the self-care and the recalibration. On Tuesday, I just could not bring myself to do anything. I had work to do. I wanted to do work, but all I could do was sleep. And all I could do was just, literally, all I wanted to do was stare at the wall. It was the most bizarre experience. I just felt this need to kind of like shut down my mental capacities, just kind of numb myself out internally and just go kind of blank. And when I was asking God what this is about, because all I wanted to do was just like kind of daydream, like that maladaptive daydreaming, although it's not so maladaptive, it was for a purpose. All I wanted to do was just kind of shut down and just let my mind go where it needed to be and let my body just be at rest. And God said to me, there's a purpose for this. Just rest. Just sleep if you fall asleep, and just allow yourself to energetically go where you need to go. And what happened is later in the afternoon, I started to experience visuals in my third eye of strands coming out from my heart space. And they were like, what I'm hearing now is they were time strands. They were like timelines. It looked like threads. It looked um, like energetic lines. And so I, again, was like, God, what is this? And God said that it was new timelines that were being created, and that it was almost like we needed to shut down in order to release the past and just allow the future to be created, not worrying about the future and what's being created, but be very present with that creation. And so that's where I was being called to just dream and daydream and just, what is it that I want to create? Who is it that I want to be? What is it that I want to experience? And so I just let myself go where my mind wanted to take me. And anytime my mind wanted to go back to the past, as far as like the ego erupting, as far as like, oh, that's not real, or that can't happen, or that's not true, or this isn't possible, I was clearing that energy, clearing the past, so that there was only the present moment, and from the present moment I could create. And so let yourself be guided where you're guided. Let yourself go where it is that you need to go. If it means shutting down for a little bit, if it means tuning out, if it means daydreaming, let yourself be guided, because there's a lot more that's happening energetically than we can fathom with our human experience. And that's part of my job, is to bring the energy to you to make sense of what it is that we're experiencing energetically. I also want to say this. We're getting called more and more, you might have noticed this over the past 6 months, to really tune into our own journeys, into our own selves. There's an internal process that continues to brew. And that's because we are meant to be honoring our experiences. And while we can turn to other people for their opinions, for their insights, we have to really tune within ourselves. And so you might be called to step back from readings. You might be called to step back from energy updates. You might be called to step back from social media as a whole, because social media has become very, very thick with a lot of that same aggression that we might be experiencing in our physical world. It's kind of leaking into the social media spheres. So really making your circle smaller is going to be really vital for this time. Again, to hold the light, to be able to hold the light. And that's part of your self-care as well. If you feel like it's too much, pull back. If you feel like you're getting caught up in a whirlwind of other people's insight, or other people's opinions, or other people's whatever, and it feels like you're getting a little bit lost in the shuffle, pull back, so that you can reconnect to your heart center, to yourself. And as you reconnect to yourself, that helps you reconnect with everything and everyone around you. That is unity consciousness. But it's almost like one of those threads. If there's like a break in the thread, then you can't be helpful to yourself, and you can't be helpful to others. So really tune into your heart space and what your intuition is telling you, and where you're being guided to. That's really, really crucial at this point. I especially say that for those who are experiencing inner union, or who are on the verge of physical union, or experiencing physical union. Those who are feeling that union energy, whether physically or energetically. It is a very visceral time right now. And I say visceral because it is palpable. We can feel the energy palpably. And it is crucial right now to maintain your light, maintain your energy. That's not to say that you're not human. Again, there will still be some challenges, there will still be experiences, difficulties, struggles, but your capacity becomes greater to be able to hold the space, to hold the light, to hold the compassion. Your capacity becomes greater. And that's what this journey is about. It's not about bypassing struggles and challenges. You're still human, but your capacity opens up. That's part of your transformation. And let's not forget that. It is not always about love and light. Love and light is a foundation of who we are, but we also experience struggle and challenges. The world experiences struggle and challenges, and that's where we bring the love and the light. We bring the compassion. We bring the holding space. We bring the peace. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. It's not to bypass anything and to pretend that nothing bad ever happens. It is to be able to combat that heaviness with more peace, to combat that heaviness with more light and more love. That's what we're here for. And so you might, even as I was experiencing this week, it was very, very heavy. I recognized that I was not crumbling like I would have. In fact, I felt more empowered to be able to handle things that are thrown at me, to be able to connect to myself and to God, to know who it is that I am, and to really affirm that and connect to that, and to really just be at peace within myself. And I always say, follow the peace. If it doesn't feel peaceful, as difficult as it is, if it doesn't feel peaceful, then there might be some adjustments or some tweaking. As difficult as it is, if it feels peaceful, then you're on the right course, because you're honoring yourself, you're in alignment with yourself, you're trusting and having faith in your soul. And when you are experiencing difficulties or struggles or challenges or whatever it is, to be able to anchor into that peace within yourself, to be able to know without question, without doubt, that you'll get through it, that there's a light on the other side, that you're learning, that they're growing, that there are opportunities for your growth coming from it, that there is an opportunity for more love to bring to yourself or to others. When you know that the universe is always supporting you, that God is always there with you every step of the way, that is you anchored into your faith. That is you anchored into your faith. And that is the whole point of Ascension. It's interesting. They're calling me back to Yeshua. And Yeshua has been very present with me leading up to Easter, because I always watch Jesus Christ Superstar during Easter. That was a huge activating show for me. But leading up to Easter and then after Easter, Yeshua has been very present with me. And, even Yeshua doubted. Even Yeshua said, "Why have you forsaken me?" Even Yeshua called out in times of pain and times of challenge, times of greatest difficulty, right? But faith knows that God is always there. And that's what we're doing on this ascension journey, is we are clearing the illusion of separation. We are remembering that garden is always part of us, is always within us. We just think that we've exited it. We just think that we've been cut off from it. We just think that we are separate from each other or from God. And we're never separate from each other or from God. And that includes your counterpart. That includes yourself. That includes your family, your friends. We might have experiences in our human experience that has us disengaging or going our separate ways or physically parting. But we are never truly parted, at least not energetically, at least not spiritually. So there is a lot that is happening right now, and the energy is going to keep picking up. And the more that you can anchor into yourself rather than looking externally, the more that you can tune into yourself, that's your connection to yourself and to God. And so we're going to be experiencing some timeline shifts. We're experiencing one right now. There's a very Neptunian energy right now. It feels very sluggish. I feel like I'm walking through molasses. It feels very slow, very sluggish. Make sure that you're grounding, especially in nature, but not just in nature. Make sure you're grounding within yourself. Again, connecting back to yourself. This is a turning point. And part of this daydreamy energy, this Neptunian energy, is because it is a new creation point where we're leaving the past where it needs to be in the past, learning from it, having those growth opportunities from it, but leaving it in the past where it needs to be. Here is what matters. Presence is what matters. And so this is the creation point. This is the turning point. How are you going to carry forward? Who is it that you decide to be? Where is it that you decide to go? And you can narrow that down to your very 3D world, as far as your relationships, your business, your hobbies, your family life, your home life, your work environment. Like you can narrow it down to whatever focal point that you need, but from an energetic standpoint, it's because you yourself are shifting. And this major shift is because of the raising vibration, the increase in frequency, it is, in a nutshell, your ascension. And so again, don't keep looking outside of yourself. You can look outside for validation for what you're feeling, confirmation for what you're feeling. If you're feeling confused, you can turn to trusted mentors or readers or guides to help you navigate. But you're also meant at this point to recognize that you have everything within you. And so if you're constantly looking at readings or energy updates, then you're not tuning within. And I know this is kind of like a tough love message. And as a reader, I should be saying, yes, watch all my readings and keep following me. That's not who I am, and that's not who I've ever been. I want you guys to recognize your own power. I want you guys to recognize your own strength. I want you guys to recognize that you are connected to the universe too. That you have everything that you need inside of you. And that readers, guides, healers are just facilitators for what you have within yourself. I say that to every single client. I have said that numerous times to my community over the years. I believe it. I believe it and I embody it. Because that is what we're here for you to recognize your capability and capacity for your growth, for your transformation. It is not just about your sacred union. It is not just about your partnership. It is about you, yourself, and your partnership, your sacred union, your twin flame shows you that about yourself. So I want you guys to really recognize that within yourself, that it's not something external. It's all within you, all within you. And your external world reflects what is within you. And so allow yourself, as you need it, of course, turn to trusted community or soul family or mentors or guides to help you navigate, especially if you're struggling. But don't negate yourself and the connection that you yourself have. And if you need that support to figure out how to do that or how to connect with yourself, of course we have resources. Of course there are guides to help you. But I really want you to recognize that power within yourself too. This is a real big turning point, especially for those who have been part of our community and who have been evolving along with us. I always say I'm part of this journey too, and my platform is the story of my own evolution as well. And for those of you who have been here, or those of you who are just even coming, but who resonate with it, this is the turning point. This is the creation point for you to recognize that within yourself, because you have put in the work. You have done the work. You have gone through so many transformations. And now it's about really embodying that energy. And it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. It might feel a little bit fearful because it's like you've been doing it one way for so long. But now it's time to have that faith and that trust in yourself and in God, that you can take those leaps of faith, that you can trust in your journey and letting it unfold as it needs to. You can allow for that surrender. Surrender does not mean submission. It does not mean passivity. Surrender means faith. It's the intersection of trust and acceptance, and that's where faith comes in. And so I never want to, we're here for you. That's why I keep doing this work, is because I understand how difficult this journey is. And, I learned just as much from these readings and these channelings. And so we're here to help bring each other home, essentially. We're here to help each other navigate this journey. But I also want you to recognize that you have that within yourself. And keep tuning into your truth. And whatever it is that resonates here is because it's resonating with your truth. It's because it's resonating with your journey and what you're experiencing inside. So, taking care of yourself, embodying that light, allowing yourself time to rest, allowing yourself time to go within. It doesn't have to be a full-fledged meditation. I meditate best when I'm going on drives. Or you can be washing the dishes, going for a walk. It's just allowing yourself to be. And especially if you resonate as a divine feminine energy, allowing yourself to be. I thought we were going to do a Sacred Union energy update. I'm going to save that for tomorrow. Because this feels more like an Ascension energy update, and I wanted to share some of the energies we might be experiencing, and also some of these messages that are coming forth. Some of these energies that are coming forth, these messages of empowerment and sacredness, and recognizing that sacredness within yourself. So we will come back tomorrow with a Sacred Union energy update and a reading, but I feel like I'm going to leave this here as almost like a community message, as an Ascension energy update. So I am sending you so much love and sending you all so much light, and we'll see you tomorrow.